Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is More Than a Message here with another pick a card reading. We're going to be checking in and asking the question today, what do people like about you, or what does this particular person like about you? If there is a particular individual you are looking for. We have 3 piles to choose from today, per usual. Our first pile is going to be the Alice in Wonderland tarot in this piece of amethyst. Pile number 2 is going to be the Wild Unknown tarot with this rainbow quartz point. And then our third pile is going to be the Mystical Manga tarot with this dual desert rose crystal here. As always, any reference to divine masculine or divine feminine has to do with energy, has nothing to do with gender. Everybody is welcome here, as well as this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. If you are interested in, I am now available for personal readings. If you wanted to just send me an email at morethanamessage@gmail.com and I should get back to you on that. But otherwise, kind of look over the piles, see which one is calling you the most, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, pile 1. If you guys chose the Alice in Wonderland tarot and this piece of amethyst, this is going to be your reading for today. We're going to be checking in and seeing what people like most about you, or what this particular person likes most about you. If you are thinking of our particular individual or a specific person, but we're gonna just see overall what people enjoy most about you, what people kind of think about you. Get a little nosy today. Alright. For our lovely pile 1s, what do people think of our lovely pile 1s? Our lovely pile 1s, okay. Seven of Pentacles, Temperance. People see like you have a lot of potential, you are very grounded, you're very stable, and have like a lot going for you. You have many options. I feel like you are also, you have a lot of emotions, but you don't let them get the best of you. You definitely are very fair and just individual. I'm getting some strong Libra energy with this particular pile, but I definitely think that people see you as a very strong and nurturing individual, and you know how to handle yourself when it comes to your emotions and expressing them. I do think that there does seem to be kind of an essence of staying away from conflict, or being a little bit more of the peacekeeper in certain situations. I do think that some people find that admirable, and then others find that a little bit, I guess, more frustrating. But I think that those are the people that just are a little bit more straightforward, and I think you see all sides to things, so you see the perspective of every angle, whereas other people that are very, very hard-sided with their opinions would get more frustrated with the level of like nuance I feel like you have. You're a very grounded and secure person. I do think you have like a very cozy home, and people really like that about you. You're very cozy and warm individual. Again, you just have like a lot going for you. I think you are very, very balanced in all areas and aspects. I think that there is, again, a level of indecisiveness to you. I really am getting very strong Libra vibes for this pile, which I am a Libra, so I feel you very strongly on that one. But yeah, I think ultimately people see you as a very lucky and abundant and fortunate person. I do think I could see you maybe as a little bit impatient in certain circumstances, or you're a bit maybe impatient on when you know something is going to come in for you, because I think you are so strong and secure in your vision and your ideas, which is something that people really like about you. I think you are willing to adapt and change and kind of go with the flow in areas that are needed, and then are willing to stand your ground and are really willing to kind of fight for the things that you really do strongly believe in, but I think in a very tactful and a very mature way, and you are able to be expressive with your opinions and with your arguments, I want to say, without letting the emotional aspects take over in those regards. So that's something that people or this person really likes about you. I do think that there is an essence of kind of like looking the other way. I don't think you're really a competitive person, because I think you're more in competition with yourself than you are with other people, and I think that that's something that is very admirational for a lot of individuals. You're very self-reliant. Very self-reliant, and very in tune with yourself and who you are as a person and an individual. Again, very grounded. I'm also getting some Taurus vibes in here as well. Let's see what wants to come through with some oracle cards. We have the fox, the snake, the cheetah, and the phoenix. You could be a very alchemizing person, or you could have gone through a lot of like phases or transitions throughout your life. I think that people who have seen you go through all of these phases are very, again, admirational about what you've kind of gone through and what you have overcome in regards to certain situations. I definitely think you are a person that has rose from the ashes, which is why I feel like you are so emotionally in depth with yourself and with others. I do think you're a very fast-paced individual. I do think that some people could see you as a little bit of a charmer, or a little bit of a fox, a cheetah, or maybe even a little bit of a trickster in certain circumstances. But overall, a very like warm and nurturing individual, but you're able to be kind of sly and quick-witted when you want to be. Let's see what wants to come through with the Garden Dragon Oracle for a lovely pile once. Ooh, I wanted a real quick. Resilience, Turnip Dragon. Yeah, definitely a strong, very resilient person. You've gone through quite a lot of battles, and I think that because of these things that you have gone through, it has really allowed you, again, for that emotional maturity as well as for that grounded aspects, and you have so much going for you because of what you've gone through is what I'm getting. I feel like it kind of gave you the motivation and the energy to really push yourself into avenues and areas of your life that I think if you hadn't gone through those challenges, you wouldn't have pushed yourself to do certain things. And that's a very strong quality that people really enjoy about you. Ancestors, Stone People, Vigilance, and Meadow, Vulnerability. Again, I feel like there's something about almost alchemizing and working through generational trauma. And I think that there is a level of, I keep wanting to say admiration, an admirable element to you when it comes to all of the stuff you have gone through and your emotional expression of it and how you talk to other people in regards to this. There seems to be this rawness and this element to you that people feel very, again, nurtured and seen by, and I think that they can reflect and see a lot of certain circumstances within you, and I feel like you are a very guiding individual and a guiding light to a lot of people, even if you may necessarily not see yourself that way. I think especially within your family, I think that there are a lot of unsaid, again, admiration and admirable is really the strongest word that is coming through for this pile. But let's start getting some message cards here. We'll do some spirit cards. Let's see what message wants to come through on that. And then if you guys were thinking of a very particular person, we will grab that deck as well, and then some songs here if you wanted to look up lyrics for any additional messages. But we have new path unfolding, maintain the balance, spiritual blocks, are you avoiding, and lessons. Let's get into the love message deck. So if this was a particular person, if they have any messages here that want to come through for you guys, for our lovely pile ones. Ooh. Half the deck wanted to fill out. I feel like people have a lot to gush about you, pile number one. A lot to gush about. The soulmate. I haven't been the same since you walked into my life. You got somebody smitten, pile one. You make me nervous. I'm really confused on our connection. My family and friends will love you. Dark night of the soul. And you give me butterflies. But we're going to keep that at the bottom. Let's do the songs. See if you want to look up any of these songs. There is a particular artist you connect to. You can look at the lyrics if those have additional messages for you at this time, or even an artist name or band you could connect to personally for extra confirmation for our lovely pile number ones. We have Back to You by Elenium and All Time Low. And Echo by 5 North. And last but not least, our lovely postcard from Spirit, as always, to close out the reading for today. Spirit, what is our final message you have for our lovely pile ones here? I'm going to take that top one. Alright. Dear you, it might be hard to believe you'll ever get to where you want to go, feel the way you want to feel, and find peace and security, but you can. There's lots to celebrate in this life, but first you need to let go of this attachment to achieving certain results. It is easy to get caught in the endless loop of wanting this or that so you can feel safe. The only way out is to surrender the attachment, empty yourself so you can be filled with something new. The compulsion will be lifted and peace will come. Trust that something better awaits, and something new will open up, and you will see new opportunities for fulfillment. The truth is, whenever you get into the loop, what you are really looking for is spirit. That connection is where the power, the peace, and the purpose lies. Everything else follows after that. Give yourself a hug. We got you. Loving you so, so much. Alright, pile number 1. I hope that was helpful and resonated for you guys. If it did, leave a little like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. If it did not resonate for you, you can always choose another pile, choose another reading, or I might just not be a reader for today, and that's totally cool. If you are so inclined, I am now open for personal readings. If you did want to send me a message at morethanamessage@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you on that. Otherwise, I am wishing you much love in this light and this journey, guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye! Hi pile 2, if you guys chose the Wild Unknown Tarot and this rainbow quartz point, this is going to be your reading for today. We are going to be checking in and seeing what people like most about you, or if you are thinking of a particular person, what this person enjoys and really likes about you. So we're getting all sorts of details and stuff that people really enjoy about you, what they think and what they feel about you. So let's see what we have for our lovely pile 2s and what people think of our lovely pile 2s. Oh, that was like a lot of cards all at once. That was like a huge chunk. So I'm going to put those back in the shuffle here. That was another decent chunk, but a little bit better. Some beautiful imagery. I definitely think people see you as a very light and bright individual. I think people see you as kind of introverted, but at the same time also extroverted. I'm getting very much that kind of that fairy pixie girl, you know? That's really the energy that is coming across quite a strong for this pile. You're a very nurturing, mothering individual, but I think you are somebody that definitely keeps a little bit more to themselves. Some people could describe you as I kind of want to say a man-eater. Again, gender does not apply here. Everybody is welcome. More has to do with energy, but just someone that can really just a magnetic individual that just draws a lot of people in, even just friendship-wise. But people just like can't help but get a crush on you is overall the energy and vibe that you are giving off. Pile number 2, I do think that you have an air about you of like getting stuff done. I'm getting Sagittarius and Leo energy quite strongly for this particular pile. I do think that there is an air about you, and you're not really willing to like, you're willing to say what you mean, but also you like just don't have time for like pettiness, if that makes sense. Like if something's going down and it's something you really care about and you think that there's injustice happening, I think that that is something that you will like cutthroat, like to the nines, like will absolutely not stand for. But if it's just like petty gossip that you really like, just like, I don't have time for this, like there are more important things to deal with, and people really enjoy that about you. Just saw 333 on the timer. I think that there's like an element of like yeah, you don't care about the petty stuff, but you really are willing to come and step forward and be very cutthroat about the things that you are very passionate about, or if you feel like there is injustice, or people are being judged unfairly, or if there is an unfair situation that is currently happening within your vicinity. Otherwise, I feel like you pretty much keep to yourself. And yeah, people really enjoy that about you. I think that, again, you are a very bright individual. I think that you are a very hardworking individual. I'm getting very strongly that you could be that person that people, again, just can't help but fall in love with and can't help but just be magnetized towards. Just with that warm nature, there's just something about you that I think encapsulate people and is very like siren-esque as well. I think that there's this like soft femininity, but I think that there's also this mystery and this air to you that people just like want to know more of what you're about, because I think you are a fairly private individual. Again, there's this like level of like she'll eat your heart out kind of a vibe is really what I'm getting, and people really like that. I think that usually in the cases of you being cutthroat, it is absolutely justified. Again, check the shadow side there, but I think that you are, again, ultimately a very bright, light individual. I think some people might try you because I think you could come off actually fairly quite innocent or naive, but I think that is almost I don't want to say a facade, but it's more just like, try me. I want to see you try me, like underestimate me. I want to see you underestimate me, because you are going to be proven very wrong. And I think that that is very, very attractive quality, and people really, really like that about you, especially friends. I think that you are that super loyal, die-hard friend that will literally just, again, pretty quiet, pretty to themselves, but will go to bat for you, will key that man's car, like full rage with you if injustice has happened is kind of the thing, and that you exude pile too, and I think people really, really like that about you. So let's get some more oracle cards and see what else wants to come through. We are also doing the animal deck that corresponds with this tarot deck for the piles today. We have whale, frog, an eagle. Again, that very like bright light, but also a very like emotionally intuitive, emotionally aware, emotionally vulnerable individual. You are very in tune with yourself and with others, and are very well landscaped in this area, in this department. And I think it is something that people really I want to say like envy in you. I think that the way that you are able to process and handle your emotions, or just the way you come across, I feel like it's, I don't want to say necessarily stoic, but I feel like it's almost like water off a duck's back is kind of the energy that I am getting here with you guys. Pile number 2. Definitely water off a duck's back. Honeydew dragon, gratitude. Yes, there is definitely a layer of warmth about you, but again, kind of a slightly rougher outer shell, but overall very soft inside. I'm also getting some Cancer energy here with this pile as well. Just very sharp and ferocious when needs to be, but also very soft, warm, and compassionate when need be as well. I think that there is a really good duality to how you portray yourself and how you interact within your interpersonal relationships and just with the community in general, and people really like that about you. I think you're not too overwhelming or overbearing, but you are able to participate and come forward and contribute in a pretty solid and powerful way. There seems to be a lot of water imagery as well. That's something that you could maybe connect to. Something with your intuition as well. Again, very intuitive person, could be very esoteric or mystical, or into that element of things, and people really do like that about you. I think that there is a lake as well. There's like this calmness but power that comes through when need be, and there's just like this ebb and flow to you that is a really calming but very calming but also very eerie element to it that just you can't help but want to know more. I think there's also a reflectional element to you that people see a lot in themselves, elements of you, and that can be either very, very endearing, or it could scare some people. So I do think that that is something very strong with this pile of having really close and intimate connections with people, but I think that they see or you mirror elements of themselves that they either wish they could emulate, that makes them kind of run, or they just feel like they can't live up to your energy, if that makes sense. But we're gonna get the homemade deck now. We're on the spirit deck here. We have throat chakra, keep going, heart chakra, so some chakra work could be helpful during this time. Soul tribe, again, I feel like you're a very loyal friend. Like, we'll go to the bats, to the end of the earths for the people that you really, really care about. Let's get into the love messages. So if you were thinking of a very particular person or particular individual, this is going to be messages from them. And they kind of just had a huge chunk all at once to say. So, do you still care? Morning snuggles. I'm soft when you're around. Life partner, and I want to grow our connection. So I feel like there could be a little bit of a tension with the person you are with, and I feel like it's that element of not necessarily being able to read you. Let's get to the song deck, see if there's a song here you could connect to the artist, the name, or if the lyrics have additional messages for you if you wanted to look them up. We have Just a Mess by Tones and I, and I Want You to Love Me by Fiona Apple. Alright. And last but not least, our postcard from Spirit. As always, to close out your reading for today. Our lovely pile twos. Spirit, what is our final message for our lovely pile twos today, Spirit? What is our final message for our lovely pile twos? Dearest you, miracles never run out. Look back over your life and you will see so many moments of synchronicity when all the right people, the right place, the right opportunities, and the right time just showed up without any of your help. Think back to how you felt just before a miracle happened. You felt like you were giving up, but it was more like a gentle surrender to whatever was about to happen. We want you to know that miracles are being concocted for you and you will never ever run out of them. You just don't get to choose how they come, who will deliver them, when they will show up, and what they will do for you. All of that is our department. Spirit knows what is best for you and what wants to be expressed through you. You are incredible and amazing and a magnet for miracles. That would be a good mantra for you today. We're on it. Relax. If you only knew how much you were loved. Sigh. Alright, lovely pile twos. I hope that reading was helpful and resonated for you. If it did, leave a little like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. If it didn't resonate for you, you can always choose another pile, choose another reading, or it might just not be your reader for today, and that's totally cool. I am also now open for personal readings. If you are interested, you can always send me an email at morethanamessage@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you on that. Otherwise, I'm wishing you much love and light in this journey, guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye! Hi pile 3, if you guys chose the Mystical Manga Tarot and this dual Desert Rose crystal, this is going to be your reading today. We are going to be checking in on what people like most about you, what people think and feel about you, and then if there is a particular person that you are thinking about, what they're kind of thinking and feeling. But yeah, just qualities and traits about you that people really like, what they think, what they feel, and kind of the energy you go off. So we will see what comes through for you guys, our lovely pile 3, and see what people are thinking and feeling about you, what people like about you. Woo! Flying out. I feel like you are a very go-getter, fast-paced individual, and that's something people really like about you. I think that you are very open with your emotions, and you are a very fair individual. I think that I'm getting some strong Virgo energy with this particular pile, even though we are only a little bit in. I think you're pretty blunt and fair with your communication, and I think you do have a layer of like compassion to you, even if it might not always come off the best. I definitely think people know you have really good intentions behind it, even if it isn't always articulated the best. I think that people know that you're going to tell the truth, you're going to be very honest, even if it might, I don't think it's going to hurt people's feelings. Again, I just think it's like that very like blunt, to the point. They ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You're gonna like give it as it is, and I think that people really, really like that about you. There is a level of you also being able to like take care of your finances. You have a very savvy element to you when it comes to money. I do think you also are a very passionate person, and you are a very sensual being. For if you are thinking about a particular person and wondering what they're thinking about you, you are definitely a very attractive person. I could see a lot of people vying for your attention, having easy time having a crush on you. We also have the Two of Cups. I do think if you are thinking of a very particular individual in regards to this situation, I do think that this person sees you as a forever partner potential. I do think that people also see or kind of know you've gone through a lot of like burdens, or again, I feel like it was like financial troubles. So you could have had like a very tough upbringing, or just poor financial situation growing up, and you're really able to overcome that and really just take the best out of the situation. I think that you're a very grateful individual for what you have, because you kind of came from nothing. I'm getting just saw 333 on the timer as I said that. There is an essence of you that you kind of like made the best out of your circumstances that you were given, and you ultimately rose above, but in the most graceful way possible. And I think that that's something that people really, really admire about you, and really are like kind of in awe at the fact of like this way that you've kind of alchemized, and really the way that you've seemed to, again, I feel like there's an essence of bluntness in the way you come across and the way you articulate yourself, and it's very blunt but also still holds a lot of compassion. There could have been an essence of maybe family coming at you for money after this successful transition, and you being able to again articulate and communicate to them effectively of like, this is what I worked for, this is what I did, and this is the kind of situation that I have done, and being able to like politely say no. And I think that it's an admirable trait that people really like about you. Again, I think that you are a person that a lot of people could see themselves with. You are definitely kind of that husband, wifey, partner material that a lot of individuals can really see a future with. Again, if you're thinking of a particular person or are here for this reading for a particular person, like, this is definitely a ooh, hiccup. Interesting. Maybe there's a hiccup in the situation and they see the way that you're handling it is very graceful. That message is only going to resonate for a few of you. But again, an essence of the way you are able to make the best out of situations, make the best out of your circumstances in like any given situation, whether that's financial, social, home, relationships, in both romantic and platonic and career senses. Like, there's an element of you that's really able to read and assess and ultimately, get the best for like all parties involved. But let's start diving into some oracle cards and see what else wants to come through for you. For pile number 3, what wants to come out for pile 3? Hyena. Interesting. Again, that like fast-paced, like a little bit of cutthroat energy, especially in business and finances. I feel like there was an element of, again, almost coming from nothing, having very bare minimum, bare scraps, and really being able to make a very plentiful and abundant situation out of the little elements of what you have. I think there is an element of, there was another pile of like rising from the ashes. Cheetah is there as well. So if there was another pile that you were kind of drawn to, you could have some messages there. I ain't gonna say what pile, but if you were drawn to another pile, I would maybe check to see what if that pile has any additional messages for you. But there is an essence of growing through the ashes and a lot of like poor circumstances that were I don't want to say given to you. I feel like you were just like brought up in. I think that again, it was just like a home situation that was just not really great, and you were able to work and able to get yourself out of that situation over the course of time where you shouldn't have had to deal with that kind of element. Shuffled the deck and that just popped out immediately. Corn Dragon, friends. Yeah, you could also be an individual where very much you have like chosen family is a very strong kind of energy that is coming from this pile as well. You could also very much like Halloween, getting dressed up. That kind of vibe is also coming through. People really like the way that you present yourself. I think that it is very... I feel like it's not glamorous. Glamorous, I think, is the best way to describe it. It's not super flashy, it's classy, but you're definitely still very drawn to it, and it definitely still makes a very bold, impactful statement. But you could also be a very loyal friend, and people really like that about you. Definitely very loyal individual. Again, I feel like you have that kind of chosen family element to you. I also think, again, able to handle yourself emotionally pretty well. There is an element of being very cutthroat, but also compassionate. But sometimes things can take over a little bit more. There's a lot of strength to you, and again, I think you're able to like give people a wake-up call, but in a very compassionate format. You really take their vulnerabilities and more of their insecurities and the way that they would be emotionally impacted by whatever the situation is, and you are very tactfully able to give them the wake-up call that's needed, but almost kind of in a way that I think it's, I don't want to say in the elusive manner where people like make people think it's their idea, but I think, again, it's almost like a very like nurturing mother, or that nurturing school teacher of like, you know what you did wrong, you gotta fix it, like, come on, let's like start doing this, that, let's go apologize, like, you gotta get this handled, like, very much that level of maturity and able to call it and say it how it is, with still keeping other people's emotions and egos intact. I'm kidding. But let's pop into the message cards and see what wants to come through. With the spirit deck, we have blocks removed. For our pile of threes, what wants to come through? We're almost there. Cancer. The Soul Tribe. Yep, I had a feeling that card was going to come out for this pile. Then we have Pisces. Right. We'll get into the homemade love messages. So if there was a particular individual that you were thinking about for this pile, which this pile out of any of them, I'm feeling more strongly that case. See what messages this person wants to give to you for our lovely pile, please. I could look at you forever. You are definitely very attractive to this person. I'm not trying to avoid you. You're so attractive. Yep. Definitely very, very good looking pile 3. That's a huge chunk that came out. Now I'm going to take what flipped first. Your marriage material, divine protection, those eyes, and ghosted. So if you're ghosted by a particular individual, that was definitely for some divine protection at this time. But let's get some song cards, see if there are any additional messages if you want to look up the lyrics, or sometimes the artist or the name could be something that resonates or connects with you. Black Magic by James Young, and Beside You in Time by 9 Inch Nails. And then, as always, to close out your reading, I do a postcard from Spirit. For our lovely pile 3, Spirit, what is our final message today for our Lovely. Pile 3s. Spirit. I'm gonna take that since the bunch flew out. That was the one I was getting drawn to do the most. Dearest you, as you think, so will you experience life. Thoughts are that powerful and they need minding. Let the unruly, chaotic ones settle so they serve you or get released instead of wreaking havoc. These thoughts arrive when connected to the energy or fear, and often masquerade as truth. Yet the real truth is that, essentially, all is well. Of course, you have thoughts that are positive, strong, organized, accepting, creative, open, and so on. Those are the ones we want you to keep thinking, and they have a less frantic quality. They are stimulating in a good way and don't get away from you. How do you keep an inner eye on your thoughts? Meditate and leave judgment out of the mix. Everyone has those fearful thoughts. Love them, love yourself, and then choose the thoughts you want the world to reflect back. Life is not as hard as you think. Loving you so much. Alright, pile 3, I hope that was helpful and resonated for you. If it did, please leave a little like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. If it did not resonate with you, you can always choose another pile, choose another reading, or it might just not be your reader for today, and that is totally cool. I am also offering personal readings now. If you are interested, you can always send me an email at morethanamessage@gmail.com, and I will get back to you on that. Otherwise, I am sending you much love and light in this journey, guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye!